and today I wanted to talk about purpose and meaning. In my last discussion videos, I talked about the intrinsic paradox of existence and existing, and how the one thing with seemingly greater presence than any science or God is the lack of anything, nothingness. This introduction to nihilism often implies the lack of any purpose or meaning to or in anything, at least innately. Many depressive nihilists also believe that there is no point in doing anything, as in the end its impact will have been for nothing, as all things essentially return to dust and the sun will eventually explode. To properly figure things out, let us first break things down. To go off of textbook definitions, purpose refers to the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. The definition of meaning is what is meant by a word, text, concept, or action. In accordance to this, there is no innate purpose with what we have established before, and in accordance to this, there is no innate purpose to the universe, given that the only reason it exists is simply because it does. While this may be disheartening at first, what if I told you that you can still find purpose and meaning, as such things are relative? Even with just sticking to the textbook definitions and not trying to play with semantics, your purpose can simply just be the reason for why you choose to do anything, which means that your purpose is entirely up to you. While a separate concept, impact, or the significance of something, can easily relate to purpose and meaning. Oftentimes, people prefer their purpose to end up having some sort of impact on others, or at least their own life. Otherwise, it leaves them feeling empty or unfulfilled, although many are happy just living for and by themselves, and so impact and significance can also be relative, which brings me to another sort of point or example, which is bees, and pretty much any other animal, I guess. If all things are truly lacking in purpose and significance, why, then, are bees such an essential part of this planet's ecosystem? While not an expert in this field, Albert Einstein himself has said that without bees, humanity would be nothing. Bees of really all kinds, but especially honeybees, are arguably the most important pollinators on this planet, although all are necessary to keep the balance we currently have. Without them, the agriculture of both nature and man-made would be nothing like it is today. Without just bees alone, or any pollinator, likely, especially all of them, this entire planet may have never been able to make it to where it is today, and could have gone an entirely different route. If our planet was so much as tilted a few degrees in another direction, if possible, or just even a couple of feet further away from the sun, evolution could have gone an entirely different route. There are even less significant impacts being made, but are still impacts nonetheless. Take this video, for example. You might forget this whole ramble, or maybe didn't even make it this far into the video, and yet I have still managed to deter the course of at least your day, even ever so slightly. By simply existing out in the world, a person's eyes may glance briefly at you along with many others as they go along their day. While small and seemingly and likely insignificant, it has happened nonetheless. Your mere existence has ever so slightly altered that of another's. To sort of summarize and reiterate, to find purpose, you can put yourself in relation to your environment and the impact you wish to have or have already had upon it. Again, even if small. Now, hopefully that was all enough to deter you from more depressive nihilism, but if not, I do have more I can say. If it hadn't helped, then you are potentially still stuck on the inevitability of death, and how that is your proof as to why you shouldn't try at anything. The very reason why you should stay and experience life is actually because of its impermanence. If there's nothing to lose, and all will remain tomorrow, then why would you ever bother pursuing it today or anytime soon? Infinite time means infinite procrastination. The impermanence of both cherished objects and people is precisely why you should, while still acknowledging its impermanence, cherish them to the utmost while they still remain, or while you still have them. If you keep telling yourself there is always tomorrow, you will likely be filled with regret when the tomorrow that comes takes the cherished away, and you are then left feeling you hadn't appreciated them enough while you still had the chance. Also, given that we concluded before how and why purpose and impact is relative to one's environment, the only possible way to be truly devoid of any purpose, or even the mere possibility of purpose, is to have nothing to be put in relation to, or to be incapable of being put in relation to anything. The only way that this is possible is to be nothing, to not exist at all, which the only way you can do that, in a sense, is to die. While in death, one's own mind is gone, at least to some people, a memory or concept of the dead may still remain. Even in death, outside of any memory, one's corpse rots, decomposes, which in turn gives rise to new life, even if we consider it to be disgusting or gross. No matter what, as long as existence as well as impermanence remains, there is always purpose to be found. Sorry if it doesn't make complete sense at certain points, but hopefully I was able to get the message across and had even a slight impact on your life, or even just the 12 or so minutes within this video. Now, as always with these, I'd like to know your thoughts or similar thoughts in the comments below, and maybe even some other things you might like to hear me discuss. Thank you for watching, if you made it this far, and I hope to see you again. Goodbye, for now.